starting to get used to this IVT and learn a little bit more about it. And I can say for sure that it's a lot nicer to run than the 82. Not just the tractor, but the transmission is just so much smoother. It's a lot easier just to basically just hop in the tractor and go. It's really difficult to be hard on it because it just takes everything that you throw at it so well. Like, I've tried to kill it. I'll be perfectly honest, I'm putting this thing through its throws. I've been trying to kill it and I just can't. And it's just because the tractor knows that, okay, this is what it needs to be to not die. And I've been playing around with the manual transmission as well. The IVT can be configured to work kind of like a power shift, and I really like that. I don't know, I mean, you can have anywhere from no control over the motor to letting it just handle it on its own, all the way to just keeping it at max RPMs and then just kind of doing your thing with the transmission stick. So I'm gonna do a little test, and I'm gonna do a pass along this hillside. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see just how low I can get the motor but still maintain 7 miles per hour. Keep in mind that when running across here, the 82 has trouble keeping it up to 7, especially when you start going uphill. It really starts to bog down, and it sometimes has trouble keeping it above 6 and sometimes even 5 if it's the right hill. So I'm gonna go across this hillside, and it gradually slopes upward, and I'm going to set the F1 position to 10 miles an hour. So the 82, generally what we do is we run it between 5 and 7, and we always have to keep the engine maxed out, because if you hit the right hill, that sucker will pull right down and die. One of the downsides, I think that the 82 is underpowered for its size, but then again, it is also the smallest horsepower tractor that they made in that size. So at the time anyway, I think they made an 82 25R at one point, but I'm going to see what she can do. Keep in mind that I want to try to maximize my efficiency is basically what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to, you know, keep the motor maxed out, but I'm trying to pull it back as much as I can. And this is pretty similar to what the tractor will do in full auto, except it'll vary the engine speed depending on what it needs. So I'm going to put the transmission into manual mode, and then this gives me full control over the engine speed. All right, I'm going to back out. Now I'm going to start putting the VT down. One of the great things about the IVT transmission I found is that you can start at any speed. All right, so right now we're going 3 miles an hour, 1,300 RPMs. Max speed, 10 miles an hour. Once I get past this waterway, I'm gonna keep speeding up a little bit more. 5, 4. All right, lift it up. And drop it down. All right, so I'm gonna increase my max speed to see how fast the tractor will go before the engine really starts to bog down. So I set it up to 12.5. We're going 5 miles an hour. I'm gonna increase my engine speed to get up to 7. All right, we're at 7.5. It's gonna be hard to maintain because of the rolling hills, but I'm gonna set it right about there. I'm gonna switch up to F2, 14 miles an hour. I'm increasing my top speed. We're right about 7 at 1,500. So, got another waterway here I gotta pick up for. Drop her back down. Alrighty. Once I get past this waterway, I'll do it again. Alright. So I increased my top speed to 17.4. We're still sitting about that 7 mile per hour range. So I believe that is our most efficient point, which is very believable because when I had it in full auto, it was sitting around 1500 RPM the whole time at 7 miles an hour. So just goes to show how low it can pull while still being efficient. Gas consumption, here, let me show you this. All right, so I'm gonna slow back down to 7. All right. So now we're 7 miles an hour. I've increased the speed up to 2100, and we are burning, let me get on a straightaway here. All right, so now we're burning 11.9 gallons per hour when I have the engine maxed out at 7 miles per hour. I'm gonna go ahead and switch the motor back off over to full auto. It's gonna take over, it's gonna reduce the engine speed. Must be pulling pretty hard through here. But it's starting to reduce the engine speed and we're down to 10.7. So this is one of the ways that IVT decreases your fuel consumption. It's more efficient, they say, and this is why, because they do a pretty good job at reducing your consumption. At some points, I've seen it go down to 9.5. We're sitting around 10.3 right now. But it just hit the top of a hill, so it'll start decreasing. So, one funny thing is that a couple times when I've been running, I've noticed that if I start going downhill, the tractor, at first I thought it was gonna like kill itself because of how low it was going, but it handled it pretty well. It went down the hill, it lowered itself all the way down to, I think 1200 it was. And it was just a sudden drop. And once I got to the bottom of the hill, I started to go back up and it just gradually increased throttle and compensated for how much harder the VT was pulling. So I'm probably going to actually call it quits for tonight because I just entered, I got everything done up front at Travis's place. However, this back here has quite a few sinkholes and I'd really hate to put one of the wheels in a hole. So, but I guess that's one of the benefits of having duals all the way around. All right, so once I get over here, I'm probably gonna do one more pass and then I'm gonna call it quits. So I'm trying to teach you guys a little bit more how it performs. By the time this video comes out, I'll explain how to use it because I feel it's pretty important for everyone who watches this channel to know how these things work and how to run them. So if one day any of you guys ever hop into a tractor, which I know many of you will, you won't be completely dumbfounded by all these sweet new controls that they got. Hear them rocks? I do. Good thing that Earthmaster has rock flex springs. Well, we got them tucked away in the shed for tonight. We plan to move some grain with it in the future, but I'll keep you guys posted as we continue to demo the 8370R from Sloan Implement. So thank you all for watching. Be sure to check out all of our other videos. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, all how farms work. And I'll see you next time.